Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena. Yes, that's right, Arena. I haven't played Arena in a while. Haven't made any videos in over a week. I realized this was getting pretty grave because it was actually time to make the new Brawl video, and I was like, oh god, I haven't even done Arena since the last Brawl. Anyway, I'm not going to apologize because I haven't had a weekend in weeks. It's just been really crazy with my day job. I got this like side gig of content development, which is great, and I like it a lot, but it's just taking over my life, so it's really good pay. It's really good opportunities. I'm really enjoying it. I'm glad to have the opportunity to work on it. It's just sort of, you know, limited my gaming time. There's lots of stuff I want to try. I have Pillars of Eternity that I want to play. I want to play Invisible Ink, which I have. I got Legend of Grimrock 2. Let's see, should I coin into a dagger to kill this? What's the rush? I guess you could play like a Frostwolf Grunt or something, and then I'd be annoyed, but that's fine. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, and then Northern Line just did a video on his channel for the Guild Masters or something like that. It looks really cool. It's like a kind of like a card deck building, dungeon crawling sort of a game. It's turn-based. Seems really awesome. So I want to play that, and I'm just not going to have time until like later in the fall, or maybe even not until winter, to actually really sit down and do some serious gaming. But anyway, here we got to make a tough decision. Of course, the Golem would be great against the Juggler, but honestly, I've already dropped to 22 health. I think now is the time to be conservative and just kill that Knife Juggler. She passed on turn 3, which I appreciate, because if she hadn't, I could have just gotten burned out this game. And then she plays a 2-drop and pings on turn 4, so she really passed both turn 3 and turn 4. And I've got a choice here how greedy I want to be. I mean, I could obviously make the Kodo. I'm going to just do this. I'm going to, again, kind of be conservative. She's got some good cards, clearly, because she passed turn 3 and turn 4, and this is a 5-win arena right now, so this probably isn't a chump. So let's do this. Then on turn 5, I can sap whatever big thing she plays. No, I can't sap it. Wait, I could sap it. Okay, so I gotta think carefully here. I could owl and sap it. I could also, yeah, no, I can't really kill it. I mean, I could ignore it. I'm gonna, jeez, if I do this and sap, I'm really not getting much board presence going. But you know what? I think it's worth it. So the thing is, she clearly, I don't know about clearly, but she seems to be lacking a little for things to play. And now if she plays the Spectral Knight, I can just run the Owl and the Kodo into it. So then I lost the Owl and a Sap for, what's-her-face? For a Spectral Knight. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She actually played this thing instead. Do I assassinate a 5/5? I could backstab dagger owl to kill it, and then I still get to play my tiger that way. Well, of course I take 5 damage for that. Oh god, going to 16 health versus a mage. One of these cards is Spectral Knight. If I assassinate this, next turn she can ping this and play a Spectral Knight, so I'm still screwed? Okay, so since I'm still screwed, I might as well do this. Much as it sucks. I could have actually shivved, but then I wouldn't have been able to. Yeah, that wouldn't have been good. I'm going to do this instead of the tiger, actually. It's not as good if she has a flame strike this way, obviously, but I want more total power and toughness this way. I get 6 and 7 versus 5 and 5, which could be significant. Really hope she doesn't replay that Spectral Knight, because I really have got to be able to assassinate what she plays. I'd love to see a War Golem here or a Sunwalker, something to make this assassinate good. Then I can deal, you know, 9 damage to her, which is a third of her health. Yes, that's what needs to happen. She has Flame Strike. Okay, well, the Tiger would have survived Flame Strike. This way, I get a Golem. I'm honestly not too bothered about it because, you know, I'm not going to be hitting anything else with my dagger ever again, so I'll just hit her in the face. Because it could have been worse. She didn't get any board presence out of that, and I did get to keep some stuff around. I got the 2-1, the 3-1, the 5-5. Now if she pings this, well, she can still play a 6-drop, so okay. Crap, I really smell that Spectral Knight coming back. That's just the worst thing. Please, please don't. Have like a 6-drop. Have a Boulder Fist Ogre. Have a Sunwalker. Come on. Come on. Don't just underspend your mana. Have that big card to play. Da, buttsack Christ. And a mana orb. This is actually really annoying. This little thing kind of ruins my life. Okay, I gotta think very carefully here. I could actually dagger the Spectre Knight and kill it with the help of the Tiger. The thing is, I hate this fucking mana orb. If this weren't here, I could realistically run in, dagger. Yes, I'm down to 12, but then I play Force Tank Max, and maybe I can sneak a win. Problem is, there have been no good polymorph targets for her, so it's pretty unlikely that she's not gonna have a polymorph for this. Okay, we'll shiv this thing then. Goblin Auto Barber. Interesting. I could dagger this, keep this around, and then kill that without having to dagger it. I think that's actually worth it. So we'll do this. We'll kill the worm. Then my dagger did get underused. Well, that's life. And then her overpowered hero ability is going to get to finish off this tiger. So I'm getting low on cards. But if she pings this, plays a 7-drop, and I can assassinate it and deal 7 damage, then she's going to be down to 14. Then I'd have a small window here. Small chance of being able to actually burn her out. But if she plays like a 4-drop and a 3-drop, I'm probably going to lose. Or if she just kills my stuff, I probably lose there as well. Because she's got 6 cards to 4, soon to be 5, so she's up a card. So if she trades 1 for 1, which mages are excellent at, then I'm in trouble. No, don't do anything else. No, I hate you, God! Jesus! That's so frustrating because it kills my 3-2. Well, let's assassinate that. This is, well, I gotta say, it's not terrible. It does protect my barber here. Now, a Flame Strike wins her the game, but, you know, you can't make an omelet without paying someone to do it. Alright, so that's gonna be a roadblock, and that's just terrifying. Okay. Well. Oh my gosh, this actually might be better than the Force Tank. Yeah, this is definitely better than the Force Tank Max. Oh god, this Sludge Belcher is so good. So I can kill that, but I have to like lose all of my damage. Getting rid of that. I mean, I could have killed her, just almost killed her if I didn't have to deal with Sludge Belcher. Well, let's see if she's got a Flame Strike here. She didn't last turn. One more turn without a Flame Strike. So there's the, oh no, not a Polymorph, a Fireball. Interesting. So now she can kill this guy with the Infiltrator and a ping. Then the Elemental takes out my Yeti. Or, yeah, that's actually totally smarter than what I said, so just pretend I don't talk. That's all you gotta do is... Armor plating, okay, doesn't really make a difference. Don't play anything else, stop. Well, actually, how could she not have anything else? She's got 4 cards and 4 mana, she's got something else. Blade Master, not the end of the world. Okay. Okay. So... does she have an answer to Force Tank Max? That's pretty much the only question here. For me, anyway. 7 down to 8. Fireball plus a little bit extra would win her the game. I could do this. But honestly, if I do this... let me think about this. Maybe this is better, because if I do this, I'm still basically threatening the win with the Force Tank Max. So does 3 extra damage actually matter? Let's see. 3 down to 6, down to 5, down to 3. I don't think it actually matters. I don't think there's any eviscerates in this deck, so I do just want to kill that off. Hit her in the face because I got mana to spare, and I might as well actually put the armor plating on the gnome so she can't ping it to death. She probably wasn't going to ping it to death. She's probably going to ping off this shield. If she has a polymorph, I definitely lose. I can't deal 8 damage because I sacrificed 3 damage, but honestly, if I hadn't killed her Blade Master, she could have just hit me for 4. Kind of wonder why she didn't put the health on the Blade Master. That seems like that would have been more logical. She does Desperado freeze it. That's a good sign. And then Dragon's Breath to finish it off. Okay, well, this isn't too bad. She has 2 cards to my 2, but I have the first play and more health, so it's all about what initiative she can get out of 4 mana. Something like Ascension here would obviously turn the game heavily in her favor. A Secret. Oh, jeez. I mean, that's hard to predict what good that's going to do. She kind of hesitated playing it, which makes me wonder if it isn't a mirror entity. It's an Ice Barrier. Well, that's very interesting. Obviously, 8 health makes a big difference. That basically puts her out of burn range, but it makes me feel really good about the fact that I traded my 3-2 for the 4-3. I realize now if I hadn't, I would have lost the game, almost certainly. So that's good that I did that, but now she's at, 13 health, so burning out is out of the question. My top deck kind of sucked. I don't have much good stuff left. I've already used my Cannon and my Stormwind Champion. At this point, 1-to-1 trades aren't the worst thing in the world. Zombie Chow, well, it's a pure top deck war. I have the first play, though, so I have a little bit of an edge, but then again, I don't have many good cards left. Ah, interesting. Assassin's Blade. So I could kill this with the Leper Gnome and then my weapon as well. But, let's see, what is this, 13? This is 12 damage. This is 14 damage. So if I can hit her in the face with all these ticks, I will win. She has to top deck a health, a taunt, or a, what's her face? Or a health, taunt, or weapon removal. Now, I could hedge my bets. I could do this and hit her and then play the blade. Then I'm like a turn behind, essentially. If I attack her with the blade right now, I get a turn ahead. I think this is the right play. She's going to have to top deck a fairly specific subset of cards. So I'm just going to go for it. She's dead in 3 turns. She's obviously not going to kill me with this in 3 turns. And I've got more damage I can draw, like the Tinker's Oil. Actually, she's dead in 2 turns because of that. Okay, this is good. So she whiffed 1 top deck. Really, I'm stand by my decision. She had to only whiff on 2 top decks. She already whiffed on 1 of them. Not a great top deck, but it's better than something totally useless because she does have to kill this or kill me. She gets me down to 9. If this is a Pyroblast, she wins. It's not. Okay. Well, I don't know if I played that all correctly. I was lucky she missed turn 3 and turn 4, given how close things came. Obviously, if she'd had something there, she could have overpowered me. On the other hand, I did fall behind and then catch up, and I made a crucially correct decision. I think I traded instead of going for the burn at the right time, and I think I went for the burn instead of trading also at the right time. Because by hitting her in the face with the blade and the Leper Gnome, I did essentially 3 extra damage that turn, and I did 2 extra damage overall because the Leper Gnome hit her once before dying instead of hitting the Zombie Chow. It dealt 2 damage either way, but it also dealt 2 damage to her face the way I did it, so I got the win a turn earlier. Sass the Paladin. Okay, well, Rogue versus Paladin, as I often like to say, is a fine matchup. The issue is that while your hero ability is very good at countering his hero ability, Paladins do have some tools now to make that less true, like the Quartermaster and the Cog Hammer, though, of course, those are both epics, so not that likely. And you do take damage from slaughtering his recruits, which means that the Paladin has more of an opportunity to burn you out. Now, Paladin's not the greatest burnout class, but with Hammer, True Silver, Consecration, they do have a decent amount of burn options. What I'm actually going to do here is... I could coin into this guy, and then I could also coin into the Golem the following turn. I could dagger, backstab, and then dagger, make the dagger, then backstab, kill a spider, and kill the other spider next turn. Is that the right move? If I leave this alone, he can't play Blessing of Kings on it yet. I'm going to trust my instincts. I think that getting to work on these spiders is worth it. So, it's still good for him. Unlike most 2-drops that would have just died to backstab dagger, if not backstab outright, the spiders survive with a 1-1, which can be significant. But I think it was worth it to do that, to try to keep the board as clear as I can. Next turn, I'm probably just going to play a Golem. I could coin Ascension, but Golem's pretty durable, so I feel like it's... Okay, never mind. Take back everything I said. We're going to coin out Ascension, because I don't want to play a Golem in front of that guy, obviously. Now, an interesting option is I could actually play this. That would let me save the coin. It doesn't kill the Acolyte, and it does give him an extra card, but it gives me a 5-2, which could be good for trading 4-drops. If I coin Ascension and he plays his own good 4-drop, it's difficult. Like, how do I kill his Yeti? It's I'd have to make a dagger, I guess. Then I wouldn't have a coin to then play a 3-drop. I'd have to play a dagger and a Leper Gnome on turn 4, which isn't the greatest. Alright, I'm going to do it. I just have to hope he doesn't have a good 4-drop. I think this would make me screwed against more things than this does. Like, this is pretty much only bad if he's got a good 4-drop, like a Blessing or a Yeti or Ascension himself. Whereas this can get bad for a lot of different things. Oh, he's got the Blessing of Kings. No, he doesn't. Okay. Well, this is obviously annoying because he gets 2 cards out of the Acolyte, but I actually am not too bothered about it because a Blessing of Kings would have been way worse. Way worse. And he doesn't have anything else. Okay, good. This is actually a pretty timely top deck. I get a 3/3 for 2 mana, which is about as good as I could hope for. So, I could kill this with my dagger and just trade, and that's what I'm going to do because you don't let paladins keep creatures, so no more talking. Goblin Auto Barber would have been better. That would have let me kill the Acolyte, and then this, my weapon could have killed his 3/2. Then I would have had a 3/2 and a 3/1, which is better than just a plain old 3/3. So I'm behind here. He did get 2 cards out of that Acolyte. 7 to 6, soon to be 7, and I have a weapon. Okay, I guess I'm not that far behind. I'm hurting for good cards to play and for removal, though. Betrayal's unlikely to be helpful. This, I mean, honestly, I'm not that concerned about it. It is annoying, sure, but really lots of things could have been worse. Alright, so I got a couple different options here. I could dagger away the shield, then kill this, and then I can't kill that. So I could dagger away the shield, Shiv and Betrayal to kill that thing and play a Leper Gnome? That seems fine. Sure. Is there anything better than that? I don't think so. So we dagger. Oh, wait. Always draw cards first. Always draw cards first. Well, that would have been nice to have at the start of the turn. Oh my god. Because I could have daggered this, killed it, and then Kodo killed the Cobra. Well, anyway, can't do anything about it now. So we play Betrayal as a 2-mana deal 2 damage. We kill off the mini-bot, play the gnome. Just trying to keep board presence against this paladin. So 6 to 6, soon to be 7. I got the Kodo, which might kill a recruit, if nothing else. Of course, if he plays a big 6-drop here, I don't have Sap or Assassinate, so I would be in trouble then. He's also got the health advantage, and these are pretty small creatures. So I'd say he's actually got the lead here, or at least the advantage. Oh, that's... Oh, God, that's not good. So he's got a 2/3 chance of getting a free minion kill here, unfortunately. And that's if he only plays 1 creature. If he can play 2, then I'm in really bad shape. So RNG coming down the pike with him having a big advantage. Oh, boy. Knife Juggler is still a good card. Ouch! He actually gets to kill my Leper Gnome, and now he has a 50-50 chance of killing my other guy. This is a huge knife fling. Oh my god. Whew. That was gigantic, because now I get to kill this thing, which is huge. If he had killed my guy, he gets to keep a 4/3, and the 4/3 is kind of a big swing. Okay, so here I could dagger Auto Barber and kill the Knife Juggler. The problem, of course, there is I have 2 mana left over, so it's a really inefficient mana use. I could play these things and use up all of my mana. In fact... I get to keep... Then the Knife Juggler stays on the board, but these guys are both pretty resilient against that Knife Juggler, so I think this is a case where I'm going to hope I'm not terribly wrong in making an exception to the rule of don't let paladins keep creatures. Well, not resilient. This thing just dies to the Knife Juggler, but he doesn't want to trigger its ability and then leave it on the table. So I could have a 3/2 out to his nothing. Instead I have this to his Knife Juggler. So the Golem is not going to respawn. And he gets 2 more Knifelings. Well, as long as he doesn't kill the Golem with these, I'm okay. Okay. Well, hell. So I could do this and oil to kill that thing. Still doesn't clear his board, though. So here's the way you do it. You kill the owl with your dagger because you can. Then you use the Kodo to guarantee the kill in the 2/2. And you hit him in the face. There's no point throwing your Golem away against the 4/4. He can get me down to 15, but he's only got 4 cards. As a Paladin, I'd say his burn potential is pretty minimal. Mine also is not that great. This I don't care about too much. That is a problem. So I wouldn't mind an owl here to silence that. I'd say this is a little rough around the edges. Okay. So I think the move is you remake your dagger. You play Mr. Slicey. Now I could go for the oil, which would not kill the Frostwolf Warlord, so I think instead I gotta get a creature down. This guy still dies to his Warlord, unfortunately, but at least I get some creatures on the table. Now I could finish this off with my dagger and go to 9 health. Is that smart? No. But I might be so desperate that I have to do it. I could also kill this with my defender and keep my health, I suppose. He's taken no damage. He has 3 cards. I think I'd have a chance of winning if he had like 1 card. But with 3, even though he's technically down a card, well, he's not down a card. He's just going to kill this, and it's 4-4. My low health is actually a serious problem. Oh, no! Oh, God, that's not good. That's the opposite of good. The very opposite. He kills my... Oh, wait, right. My 4-3 is obviously the better target than the 4-2. What the hell am I talking about? Hoogie dokie. Do I play the oil? I think I have to. And I just have to hope it doesn't... I just have to hope it doesn't buff my own creature. Now, here's the thing. Do I put the oil on this that's already buffed, or do I remake the dagger? So if I make the dagger, I have a 4 attack. This way I have... twice. This way I have a 5 attack once. Well, 5 doesn't do me any more good than 4. So yes. Well, although I could hit first and then remake the... You know what? We gotta do it.
Here we go.
In desperate times, you just gotta go for it. Of course, it went on the Dancing Swords. Well, let's damage the Kodo, because he's already damaged, and the difference between 2 and 1 isn't that great. Obviously, he could do another Knife Juggler or an Ironforge Rifleman or some dumb crap like that and make me regret it. I'm probably going to lose this. He's got too many cards. He'd really need to have a significant card disadvantage for me to have a reasonable chance of killing him. True Silver to kill this would be a major blow. If he doesn't have a True Silver to kill it, though, this will kill a big creature, which could be good. Of course, if he plays a middling creature like a Yeti, that will trade with the swords, and then that also kind of robs me of the bonus from my oil. Obviously, this is just going at his face. He still has plenty of health, though. Alright, that's not too bad. This is almost certainly going to die whatever it hits. Yeah, it's going to kill the ogre. So that's just a 1-mana cycle, and it's delayed at that, so that's fine. Oh, the oil was maybe a stupid play. I probably should have just played the Illuminator, because now the oil is getting wasted against these recruits, but I just don't see hitting the Guardian of Kings. Can I kill him? 7, 11, 13, no. So he gets 2 cards, 1 for his thing, and then 1 for Dancing Swords dying. I gotta really do this. And you know what? I don't think I can afford to waste the oil like that, killing a recruit. Although, what does 4 damage really do? Nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna waste the oil. I don't know. So he has 4 cards. He could have had 2 cards, but the swords and the Blessing of Wisdom gave him a card, so I'm gonna probably lose this. There's a chance, though, with Big Cannon or with a Stormwind Champion that I could come back and win, but that would obviously be a very specific top deck. The oil, honestly, I'm not that upset about having played it, because it did do me some good. You know, it beefed up my swords and let me kill this ogre, so I think it was fine. It's just not as good as it could have been. Ugh! Well, that sucks. So, that wasn't a bad top deck, but this is problem. I can't let that hit me. I can't let it hit me, so yeah. Well, let's hope I get a freezing coolant. Time Rewinder doesn't exactly help me in the slightest. And that's that. It's kind of unfortunate to go out, but then again, I haven't played in a week, and 6 wins is okay. I mean, I got 5 of them a week and a half ago, and I played this last, but whatever, it's fine. Both my daily quests are general quests, so I can do any class.
I wonder.
So I don't really care what class I play next. I should look at my stats sheet, I guess. It's been so long. Alright, so he enrages that, which makes sense. Plays a very expensive Arcane Intellect, which is still really, really good. in this circumstance. Oh! So I'm getting hit for 5 next turn. There's nothing I can do about it. I can't silence it because it is stealthed. I could use my owl twice, which does me no good. So I'm getting hit for 7 next turn.
Don't blink.
I mean... fine. If it's going to hit you anyway, you might as well kill it. Let's actually play the owl first, just to get a body on the table. I didn't want to play the Archmage first, because then I would have had to silence the Archmage. So I'm down to 1 health. He has 4 cards. The odds of my winning with him at 28 health are pretty much non-existent. Even if he can't kill me, he can kill this owl and enrage this, which would let him kill my Archmage. So I don't know why I actually put the owl there. That was maybe not the smartest thing. It doesn't really matter, though, at this point. Gets a huge taunter and another creature. I don't know if there literally exists any card in the world that would let me get back from this, except for, like, Vanish. Well, always go out in style, ladies and gentlemen. Always go out in style. So a 6-win rogue run, that's fine. Let's take a look at our stats sheet. Oh, God, come on. Oh, God, I hate Google's. Like, oh, I'm sorry. You can't log in with the only account you obviously would ever want to log in with. Fucking Google. All right, anyway, let's take a look at our reward pack while I continue dicking around with the stats sheet. There we go. Okay. Okay. So rogue. Alright, my rogue wins are pretty scattered. 11, then 3, then 6. I guess the class I need is Paladin. It's the last class I've only played with twice. So that would be the number 1 hope. And then anything but Warrior, because I've played actually Warrior 4 times. Kind of underwhelmingly, too. Okay. Ah! Got the old 5 duster. Or is that 20 dust? 20 dust. Okay, let's take a look at the pack. I don't know why. Only thing that matter are legendaries and epics that I'm actually never going to play with. Although they come up in brawls sometimes, so I guess beefing up my legendary epic count isn't the worst thing. Alright, that doesn't matter. So, on to the next arena. Don't get a paladin. Don't want to play warrior. I don't want to play warlock. I'm sick of losing, so let's go ahead and try hunter. Core Rager. It's a beast, though beast synergies matter less than they used to, I'd say. It's not as good of a 4-drop as Knife Juggler is a 2-drop, so I'm going to go for the Knife Juggler. Deathly Shot is important, although Fen Creeper would have been fine as well. Neutron's the only good card there. This is the only good card there. Yeah, Illuminator, I guess I could get some health, but F that noise. So I can go for super aggro with the Knight, getting extra damage and reach. Or I can try a more measured approach, getting this big Taunter. Let's go for the Taunter. I could regret that, but I feel like it's a fair choice. Only good card there. Ah, I don't like the Hyena really very much at all. So we'll take the Leper Gnome. That helps with the burn. Don't like the Buzzard anymore. This is actually kind of interesting. It's not bad. It's a monkey with charge, which is sometimes relevant. It adds a little bit of extra burn, which is always good for a hunter. Sometimes it's annoying to the opponent. You know what, let's just take a Yeti for some healing after all that talking. So I could go for more burn, but I think it's a bit extreme. Let's just grab the better card. Alright, only playable card is that one, so we'll take it. Dark-Eyed Dwarf's good, but Arcane Shot adds more burn, so that's fine. Hunter's Mark, I think we saw in the last arena, is super ridiculous. So we'll take it. Second Deadly Shot, yeah, maybe not the greatest. It can really clog up your hand and not be that useful. So I'll take the Vengeful Mercenary for some finishing power. Second Hunter's Mark might be a little greedy. These are pretty good cards. The buffing is nice, so is the card draw. Let's try the card draw. I could regret that. Maybe I would have wanted the buff. I'm not sure. These are all sound. Let's see how many beasts we've got. So there's the Creeper and... Okay, so I guess probably not the Houndmaster. I could take Web Spinner for some card draw and durability, or this for some buffing and damage. Let's take the Spinner. I've passed on 3 buffs. I passed on a Dark-Eyed Dwarf, a Saracen Cleric, and the Abusive Sergeant. Maybe that is a mistake. Let's grab the card draw there over the second Fen Creeper. This is a good card. Second Deadly Shot, again, or this Wolf. It's a mediocre card, but I've been passing on buffs like crazy, so we'll take it. Although, I mean, that could be a mistake if I end up needing that second Deadly Shot. This seems bad. Kodo is good, though. Here we'll take the Tank. That's a good 3-drop. I don't want a second Web Spinner. Here we'll take a buff. So the arena's giving me lots of chances to correct for my mistakes. Do I want a second Dwarf? It's only one less health than a Yeti, but that extra health does sometimes matter, and if there's no target for buffing, it's not that good. I'm going to do it anyway, though. Uh-huh. I've got 2 1-drops. I feel like that's fine. I'll take the Stormwind Knight for some extra reach and removal. Extra reach and removal. Ah! Mediocre 4-drop. Mediocre without the hounds. And, of course, this is unplayable trash. This does add some burn, though, and I really don't like this guy, so we'll take the Mad Bomber. A rare time where we take it over an actual playable card. Don't like the Ghoul, don't like the Puddle Stomper, so we'll take a second Hunter's Mark, though that might not necessarily be that great. We'll take a great card there. Cobra Shot. Never as good as you want it to be, but it is removal. Healing can be a lifesaver. I'm going to take this. Try to keep an aggressive bent, and then that. So there's a lot of 5-drops in this deck. That's kind of crazy. There's 7. However, there's nothing above 5. So, like, I was not offered any... was I? I mean, there was the Priestess of Elune, which is obviously unplayable trash, and then, like... Was that it? I mean, were there any... I don't think there was any Ogres. Oh, yes, there was a Core Hound. Okay, so there's a Core Hound and a Priestess of Elune. I wasn't offered anything above 5 that, you know, is remotely playable. So... if you usually, you know, if you count up your 5s, 6s, and 7s, 7's not a bad number to have. So I feel like the curve's actually okay here. A lot of 2s for the early game, a lot of 4s for the mid game. The 5s are decent end game cards, like the Fen Creeper and the Ventricle Mercenary are pretty huge. And I have a lot of reach and removal. So I don't know, I think this is actually going to be okay. Hunter's Mark, do you keep that early on? There's 2 in the deck. I think if there was just 1, I would keep it, but the chance of getting a second one, I don't really like, so I'll just get rid of it. Now, I might regret that I don't have a way to, like, you know, kill anything he plays and trade the Web Spinner for it, but I really would rather just play Loot Hoarder most of the time than Hunter's Mark and Web... Actually, wait, the Hunter's Mark costs 0 mana, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Well, he burns himself, so that's good. Here, I'm going to hit him in the face. Now, this is risky, but running into the Flame Imp doesn't do that much anyway. I'm assuming he's going to kill this with the Flame Imp. If he kills it with something else, like if he uses the Wave Flame Imp to attack me, like I wasn't going to stop that by running into him anyway. This means he must have a way of killing the Loot Hoarder or blocking it from killing the Flame Imp, otherwise he wouldn't hit me in the face. He would have killed the Web Spinner. He buffs it. Interesting. Well, it does work. So I either... kill this, or I kill I'm gonna kill this thing and hope my card is actually playable. Ah! Almost. Well, still not worth it to just throw the spinner away, so we've actually got ourselves a good old-fashioned race here. Now, if he leaves my stuff alone again, I'm gonna drop the Cult Master and be okay. He drains life, which is good for him. That does help with the healing, obviously. 5s galore. Arcane Shot. Ah, interesting. So if I play the Cult Master and get a card, I don't get to play Arcane Shot. I think it's actually better to do this and make sure I kill this thing than to play the Cult Master and get greedy with the cards. I mean, I could have played the Cult Master and just, like, done that, gotten a card, and left it at that, because either of these could have killed that Flame Imp, but I've taken some damage. I'm going to have the long game. It's to my advantage for sure. He got she played 2 mana for a Flame Imp here, and he life tapped after. He should have life tapped first, I think. If he had anything better to play. So this actually works out very nicely now, because I can shoot this thing to death, save the 4 damage for something more important. If he plays like a Gorobashi Berserker here, which a man can dream, Kodo will kill it and win the game. Void Collar. Alright, well, so this is interesting. I could play the Cult Master and trade this and get a card. Or I could play the Lobber. The Lobber is a 3/3. 3/3 is generally better than a 4/2, and I also get to keep this. Of course, does he actually have a demon? I can't really afford to play around that. So let's see what the demon is. It was a bluff. So that's good. He spent 4 mana playing a 3/4, so he basically overpaid for a Spider Tank, and then I killed it with 1 card. That's solid. Hellfire. Alright, well, this is why it's good to be a Hunter versus a Warlock. He's doing great on the card advantage front, but he's down to 10 health, so he's just dead in 5 turns. And I feel pretty good about it. Now here, do I Steady Shot? I don't think so. I think that would be a little bit extreme. Let's just Play a Chillwind Yeti. Hit him for 1, which doesn't change how long it takes me to kill him, but I mean, he has to kill everything I play or he loses. This is just a very, very classic case of it's good to be a hunter versus a warlock. Like, you know, he'd be fine if I didn't have... He wouldn't be fine. Like, if I was any class with this on the table, I'd be in really good shape, but with the hunter, it becomes pretty much unbearable. Okay, well, he did get a satisfactory blocker there. No deadly shot here. Could one of these have been a deadly shot? I think this might have been a deadly shot opportunity, wasn't it? I don't know, can't remember. Luckily, I can kill this thing. It's just a matter of how I want to do it. So I think what we'll do is play the Dark Iron Dwarf. So if the Knife Juggler hits this, it'll get the kill. Let's now play Cult Master. Try that one more time. Aha, worked that time. So I get a card. Kill the Sunwalker. Not upset about the fact that I didn't take a Chillwind Yeti over one of these dwarves, especially if it was this one, because this one played first. He's just screwed. I think he could have any card in the game that he wants, and he'd still lose. Well, I guess if he had Tree of Life and Innervate, he could go back up to 30 health, and then he'd be okay. Alright, well, he Shadow Bolts that to give me another card. Bomb Lobber doesn't do anything. You should have actually played Bomb Lobber first. That would have had a 2/3 chance, as opposed to a 50-50 chance, which is, you know, 66.6% versus 50% of killing something. Not that it matters, he was completely screwed that game. Okay, great. So we win. Did I actually finish my other daily quest? I did, didn't I? Okay, great. So, do I have time to play another game? I do. One more game. Well, I don't know. This deck seems like I mean, I thought the deck was fine when I made it, and I said so. It looked like it had a good curve and some good features, reach, removal, playable things at all ends of the spectrum. But that game didn't really prove anything. It was the best matchup in Hearthstone, plus the Warlock. Made some questionable plays. He really should have killed my Web Spinner. That would have saved a couple of damage. He could have like killed my Web Spinner and my Loot Hoarder and saved himself a ton of damage. Sharpshooter, the inaptly named Druid. I guess this guy likes playing Hunter. Well, easy mulligan decision in this hand. Now, well, actually, no, it's not easy. The Yeti is playable on turn 3 if this thing survives turn 2. What are the odds of this surviving turn 2? About 0. So yeah, I'm going to mulligan the Yeti. I think keeping a Pipe Dream isn't as good as just playing solid cards. Now, if, you know, this lives, that sucks. But he can coin something and then kill it. Or he can just kill it on turn 2 with Wrath. Yeah. Well, here's an interesting question. What do you trade this Panther for? Because any of these 3 cards will take out that Panther. This uses up less mana, but it lets me keep my creatures. This is probably the weakest overall creature, but it dies to Claw. But let's say he Claws or Wraths. Then I play the Warper and Arcane Shot this the following turn. I think that's fine. He's used his coin, so there's not going to be a Shattered Sun Cleric. I think that's the right move. Now you might say, Boris, is the wolf really your worst creature? I mean, it's like your only buffing card, except for those 2 dwarves that you got because you're a lucky asshole. But I think it is the worst card. I think this not because of the ability, but just because it's got the extra health is more valuable. Oh my god! Greed, greed, greed. This is a classic mistake. You don't try to sneak out 3 extra damage when you risk things like this happening. So now I have 3 less health and a wolf on the board. Would you trade 3 health to have a 2/2 that also gives a buff? You sure would. So he made a huge mistake. That's the kind of mistake that can cost a game. Now I'm not saying he's going to lose. He could still win this. But it's like if he loses, it could very well be because he messed up. Okay, he got the good flip on that. If it had been a 5/2, obviously, if it had been a 5/2, I could have just killed it. I'm going to use Deadly Shot because I think it's better than playing a Mad Bomber. And you might say, Papa Boris, you know, isn't that kind of crazy? What if he plays something bigger later? Thing is, it's a while before he's going to play anything big, barring Innervate shenanigans. And I do have this, which helps me kill anything up to 4 health next turn. 5 health, actually, if I trade the Mech Warper. This is unfortunate. I would have much rather had the, what's-her-face? The Silver Moon Guardian, actually, than this. So that kind of sucks. Now, I could Cobra Shot this thing, or I could just trade the Mech Warper into it and play the Yeti, which would then let me Steady Shot. I think that the board presence is more valuable than the extra damage on his face, especially because doing this let me Steady Shot, so really this only would have dealt an extra 1 damage and it would have kept 2 health on this. If he shapeshifts to kill it, I don't care. If he swipes to kill it, he doesn't have the extra mana left over to shapeshift this or this to death. He could swipe this, but that's unappealing because then this thing has 4 health, so he doesn't have any really good options for swipe. He used his coin on turn 1. Unless there's like a Moonfire back there or something. Mad Bomber. I would have rather had a Silver Moon Guardian. I probably would have actually played that. He silenced this, which I actually don't care about because the Death Rattle helps us both. And now I get to kill this thing. Now, how do I kill it? I think actually this is the time for Cobra Shot. I just dealt a lot of damage. That was 13 damage. Now, is that right? 8, 10, 13, yeah. Now, he's got a lot of turns to live if he shapeshifts, because Steady Shot only deals 1 net damage per turn. But I do have this for extra damage, and maybe this as well. Obviously, this isn't playable right now, because it'll kill my own wolf. I don't really want that. Is he actually... Oh, he shapeshifts. Well, then he just loses the game, so yeah, there's... Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that wasn't good enough. He needed a Wrath or Moonfire. Moonfire to kill that thing off. Was that quick enough I can play one more game? No, I don't think so. Alright, so that'll do it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon with some Tavern Brawl. Take care.